This week in grammar, we're going to go back. I shouldn't say go back. But we're going to kind of talk a little bit about adjectives. Now, adjectives are words that describe something. Now, we're going to talk about this big word called comparative. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about superlative. And that one's even bigger and harder. Kind of looks like the word super. So every time I see this word, I'm like, how do I sound this out? Because I want to say super, but it's not. It's superlative. Okay, we'll practice that word tomorrow. So today I want us to practice the word comparative. Let's say that together. Ready? Comparative. What does that word comparative remind you of another word that is kind of similar to that word? Katie, what do you think?
Compare.
Compare. And that's what this word does. It is going to compare. So there's going to be some, we call them degrees of comparisons. So here are our degrees of comparisons are used when we compare one person or one thing to another. So when we compare something or someone, there's some different kinds of degrees. And let me show you what I mean. We may be comparing adjectives or adverbs. And I know we haven't talked about adverbs yet, but we'll talk about those soon. So adjectives, remember, describe nouns, like people, places, things, or animals. And adverbs describe the verbs. Okay? Now, these are the three degrees. There's the positive. And positive, I want you to think of as the normal. The comparative, that's what we're going to do today. And tomorrow we'll do the superlative. Now these are easy. You guys will think these are easy. The positive degree gives us the information. So, for example, if you look at this frog, look at him, isn't he so cute?
Get killed.
We have some words. Pretty, small, green, smelly. These are all adjectives. And some of them might describe the frog.
What's so funny?
They think it's just cute. Now, here's a cow.
Kristen, you're laughing too.
Here's some words that could describe the cow or the flies. Big, smelly, friendly, spotted. Okay, all right, guys. These are all adjectives, Ingrid, that have described either the frog or the cow. Or here's the lion. Dangerous, terrifying, proud, graceful. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to compare two things or people, animal. Now, look at this. Here's how I'm going to compare them to. The bee is smaller than the bird. Did I say that right?
No.
No, I did that on purpose. What did I do wrong, Ben?
You didn't say the bee is smaller than the bird.
Oh, it is smaller. So now what we have to do is, if we're comparing two things, I got the bee and the bird. I can't just use the word small because that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to add the ER at the end of what I am, either my adjective or adverb, so that I can compare them. So John is right. The bee is smaller than the bird. Now look at this. The butterfly is pretty than the worm. Kaden?
You said pretty when it's supposed to be prettier.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense if I just say pretty. Now pretty is Pretty.
I have to
But
drop the Y and add ER.
yeah, I have to drop the Y and add I, and then I can add the ER. So remember our rules. If it ends in a Y, we're going to drop the Y and add I. Okay? Now look at this. The ant and the cockroach. The ant is slow than the cockroach. Mason?
And slow.
Yeah, slower. So we're going to add that ER if we're comparing two things. Just two. Okay?
Not drop the
Nope, we don't have to drop anything on that word because slow is S-L-O-W. Okay, now I want to see if you guys can figure this out. Cats are blank than mice. I have big, bigger, biggest.
Bigger.
Journey, what do you think?
Bigger.
Yep, why are you going to say bigger? You're right.
Because cats are bigger than mice?
Yep.
Cats are biggest than mice?
That doesn't make sense either. Because we're only comparing
Two.
two things, right, Journey?
It would make sense if it was free and the last one was Alice.
That's right, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Right, if we have more than two, like 3 or more, then we're going to have to add the EST, and that's for tomorrow. So Journey is right, bigger. Now, big is B-I-G. But how come you double that G? There's a rule. Addie, what's the rule?
I'm just gonna guess. Because if you don't have two big, these would be like bigger, like some, because it makes, the E will make the I, because if you don't want that E to jump over the G, so you need to make it double.
You gotta block it, right? So if you don't double that, and it's if this is short, big is short, B-I-G. And I know we've talked about this. Big is short, B-I-G. But if we add the ER to it, that E is gonna wanna jump over, and it's gonna wanna make that I long. So we have to double that G to block it. Hello, Mr. Topeka?
2 seconds, Mrs. Murphy.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't quite catch you. Yes, definitely. Okay. Why don't I, while I do come out in the hallway, why don't you guys watch this? This is perfect. Okay?
You're faster than me at juggling.
Yes, I'm faster than you. And I'm better than you at tricks.
Carson, get it. Turn it up. Turn it up a little bit. Carson, turn it up.
Yes, but I'm more surprising than you.
Fast. Faster. Small. Smaller. Big. Bigger. High. Higher. Big. Bigger. Safe. Safer. Noisy. Noisier. Exciting. More exciting. Dangerous. More dangerous. Good. Better. Bad. Worse.
Okay. Before we continue, we got some bad news again. Mr. Topeka said that Kinsley's mom and dad just had the dates wrong as to when she can return. So I think she has to go home for a few more days. And I know we were saying this, that I think she should just stay. We all think you should stay. But we gotta follow the rules. So Kinsley is gonna go home for a few more days, and I will check with the office, Kinsley.
A few was 2.
Few is not a number. I told my daughter that yesterday because she said the same thing, Mason. Few, we don't know how many a few is. Few could be 2, could be 3, could be 4.
It could be a million.
Could be, but it's not a million.
It's
So,
like 3. Can we do the fishing rod or the paper airplane?
we have an idea for you. You might be surprised. We might surprise you again, Kinsley.
We'll bring the fishing rod.
We have some great Alright, second grade, what do we tell Kinsley? She's signed. I think she can grab it. We don't know. I'll have to check with the office. I think her mom and dad had the dates wrong. And really, the person has to decide is the school nurse. So the school nurse has to decide. So, okay. So bummer. Now,
Why did the school nurse?
because she's in charge of this whole COVID stuff. Now, as you can see, most of the words we have to add an ER. There's some words where we have to drop the Y and add ER. There's some words though where we can't add an ER and we have to add the word more. Okay? And then there's some words that you cannot even add ER. You just have to change the word from good to worse because it wants to make sense to say gooder. And then bad. Is badder a word? Badder?
No.
Neither. Any word. Yeah. I'm sorry. Bad to batter is not a word. Batter, like you're at a baseball game, that is a word, but that's spelled B-A-T-T-E-R. Brooklyn.
I did not want Kinsley to hear this, so when she comes back, we should throw a little party, a little party. I don't know why, but like after Mother's Day, we should
Like when she comes back.
yeah, because
Like a quarantine, like a
surprise.
out of quarantine party.
As soon
Okay.
as we
Okay, that's a great idea. Okay, all right, now let's continue this. Thank you for being flexible. So dogs are tame, tamer, tamest. LEA. Tame, because we're only talking about one dog. I was seeing if any of you got tricked on this one.
wait, but it says dogs.
There was one dog. Ooh.
This S. It's an S.
Dogs are tame, tamer, tamest, but you're not comparing any dogs. So it's only if you're comparing them. Butterflies are blank than grasshoppers. So I have butterflies and grasshoppers. I got two things I'm comparing. Lewis, what do you think it's going to be? Pretty, prettier, prettiest. Butterflies are pretty than grasshoppers. Prettier. So guys, don't let this trick you because there's all these butterflies and all these grasshoppers. But how many things am I comparing? Two. I have my butterflies and I have my grasshoppers.
Whoa, grasshoppers
Okay.
are not pretty.
Look at this one. This one might trick you. Yesterday was hot, but today is even hot, hotter, hottest. What do you think, Braylon?
Water.
Why did you pick that? What am I comparing?
Like hot.
Yeah, but what am I comparing? What two things am I comparing?
Today and yesterday.
Yes, today and yesterday. So yesterday and today, that's what I'm comparing. Good job, Raylan. Today is blank than yesterday. Cold, colder, coldest. What do you think, Tyson?
Colder.
Colder. What am I comparing, Tyson?
Today is colder than yesterday.
Okay, today is colder than yesterday. So today and yesterday. All right, Kinsley, ready to rock and roll?
Yeah,
All right,
do I go to the
go to the office, please. All right, everybody wave to Kinsley. Bye, Kinsley. Bye, Kinsley.
Hi, Kaden. Right into my ear.
Okay. All right. So today on your paper, at the top, it says you can use adjectives to compare nouns. Add ER to an adjective to compare two nouns. Our team is larger than their team. So I'm comparing our team and their team. So I use the adjective large, and I have to add ER because I'm comparing two things. All right, down below, you're going to underline the adjective that compares in each sentence, and then write it on the line. Okay? I'm going to do 3 of them with you, and then the last 3 you're going to do on your own. I'll read it, but then you're going to do it. Okay, number 1 says, Tim is stronger than Evan. Who am I comparing, Brooklyn?
Tim.
Tim and who?
Evan.
Evan. So I'm comparing 2 people, Tim and Evan. So what is the adjective that I'm used to compare them? Stronger. Good job. So I'm going to underline stronger.
Can I come up?
Sure.
Can I come up?
And then all you have to do is write stronger on the line. Carson, you don't have your name on the paper. That's what it says. Yep. Directions say to underline it and then write it. And this one has ER because we're comparing Tim and Evan. That's okay. And strong is my base word or my root word. Okay, number 2. Julie is faster than Adam. What do you think, Louis? Who am I comparing?
Julie and Adam.
Good, Julie and Adam. Now, faster is my adjective. So, I'm going to underline faster. I did put a box around the root word. If you guys want to do that too, you can. I just wanted to show you, we're going to have a root word and we're going to add the ending, ER. Good job. I just said you can if you want, but you don't have to.
I'm a daddy.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay, number 3. Soccer is a harder game than baseball. What am I comparing, John?
Soccer and baseball.
Soccer and baseball. And what's the adjective that I'm using to compare them, John? Harder. Good job. Come up and underline it. And if you want to box it, you can, but you don't have to.
Mr. Murphy, do we have to underline the word?
You have to underline the word. It's saying underline the adjective that's comparing.
No, but do you underline the word?
Well, your root word is part of the word. This is your root word with your ER.
I know, but
I never said you had a box. You just have to underline for sure. Okay, now I'm gonna, on the next ones, I'm gonna read them and you're gonna do them. So this is like your little quiz. I'm gonna see if you understand this. Our field is smaller than your field. So I'm comparing our field and your field. Aria, underline the adjective that's comparing and write it on the line. Okay, number 5. Today's practice will be longer than yesterday's practice. So I'm comparing today's practice and yesterday's practice. What is the adjective that compares? Underline it and then write it on the line.
on this one, there's 2. On number 5.
Nope, there's one.
Only one.
You can ask me later, but there is only one.
6 there's 2.
We're not to 6 yet. We're only at 5. Okay, number 6. The soccer team's shirts are brighter than the football team's shirts. Now, there is a word that ends in ER. Actually, there's 2 words, but one of them is not an adjective. I'm comparing the soccer team to the football team and their shirts. So underline the adjective that describes their shirts. Now, if you pick soccer, that's wrong. Because soccer, my root word is not sock. And does sock describe anything? Is this right, guys?
No.
So yes, it ends in ER, but it's not comparing anything. So don't pick that one because it'll be wrong.
But you're comparing
That's what I picked when it was.
Okay. Now, put your blue spell